Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm audible. Can anyone confirm I'm audible? Yes, no. Guys, can you hear me? Yes, no. Please confirm. Okay. Okay, so let's start the class. Okay, so in this class, what we are going to do is we are going to understand how to build the resume here. Okay, so why resume is important. So first of all, okay, whenever you are creating your resume, it is always a picture for your particular interview. Okay, so normal why? Because see, when you are just passing your resume to any particular company, so presently like you are not going to that particular company. Okay, just you are sending your profile to that particular company. You are sending your resume. So your resume first to talk to that particular company. First you are not talking to that particular company. Your resume is talking to that particular company. Okay. So if you are not mentioning what are the knowledge you have, okay, what are the skills you have in your particular resume, then it is not useful for that particular company. Okay, so see first what will happen. Okay, just assume I'm taking the interviews, okay, for any particular full stack developer or any particular data analytics, data scientist. I'm taking some particular interviews. So first I'll take that particular resume and first I'll check what are the requirements I have. Whatever the requirements I have, if these particular skills are available in this particular resume, and if this particular student has done some particular work related to that particular skills, then only I'm going to shortlist this particular resume. Example, just assume one example I'm giving. Okay, if I'm hiring one particular data analytics, okay, I'm hiring one particular person data analytics. I'm checking that particular resume. Just assume whatever the basic requirements are there. Okay, so basic requirement, what is the basic requirement? You should know basic Excel, you should know basic particular SQL database, basic you should know any programming language, basic you should know any particular reporting tool. Okay, like Tableau, we have Power BI. So just assume that particular candidate, that particular student is not mentioning these particular basic skills. Will I am going to check that particular resume? I'm not going to check that particular resume. Second point. Okay. Now, any candidate have mentioned that particular skills, but after mentioning that particular skill, just they have mentioned, okay, I have completed this particular course from this ABCD institute, and that particular candidate are not mentioning after learning that course what they have done that particular with the topic. Are you getting my point? Yes, no. Okay, if I completed any particular subject, if I completed any particular topic, so if I'm not mentioning what I have done with that particular topic, so how the interviewer will understand, okay, what knowledge you have with that particular topic. Okay, for example, I'm mentioning I'm creating a dashboard. Okay, I have created a dashboard using this particular Power BI tool for this particular data set. So this means this is one task I have done. Okay, this is one task I have done related to one particular topic. Are you getting my point? Okay. Next thing I'm mentioning something. Okay, I have done some data cleaning work related to this particular data set. Means I have done some particular work. Okay, I'm mentioning something in my project. I have extracted the data set from this particular ABCD website. Means I have done some particular work related to my particular subject. If I'm mentioning some particular work related to my particular subject, then the interviewer will understand you have some particular subject knowledge. Then only you'll get some particular call. And once you get the call, they are going to ask you some critical questions Like, is that particular candidate having some particular knowledge or not related to that particular subject? If you have given that particular answers, okay, and they have asked you something like what you have done, how you have done, if they are satisfied with your answers, then they are going to call for the theoretical, okay, technical interview or practical interview. And again, they have given you some particular task on the technical interview, and if you done something 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%, then only that particular interviewer will get that particular, okay, idea, like you have some particular technical knowledge also. Okay, you will be having some technical knowledge. Okay, you have critical knowledge, you have some technical knowledge, then only they are going to hire. Okay, if you are not mentioning anything in your resume properly, the first thing you are not going to be shortlisted. You will never get the particular call. There are many particular students are there, n number of students are there. They are created the resumes, but their resumes are not going to be selected. They'll not get the calls. They'll ask the management, okay, they ask to the trainers, okay, sir, I'm sending my resume to these 100 companies, I'm not getting the calls. Why you are not getting the calls? Maybe these resumes are not going to be satisfied. Whatever the requirements are there, that requirements are not matching with your particular resume. That's a simple thing, right? After the second category, if your resume is shortlisted, then only you will get the some particular call. If you tell some particular answers on the call, then they are going to maybe schedule the technical interviews. Right? If you perform well in the technical interview, then they are going to hire you for that particular work. This will be the scenario. Right? Now, when you're creating that particular resume, what are the mandatory things are there you should have to compulsory mention in your resume? The first thing is the contact information. The first thing is the contact information. Just as you have created your resume, but you are not mentioning your information, like to whom should I contact? I have sent the resume, okay, but there are no contact details. How they are going to contact? Right. So first of all, contact information should. I'll come to that particular detail part also. The second thing is resume summary or objective, means who you are. You have to mention yourself, maybe 2 lines, 3 lines. You have to mention about yourself, who you are. Okay, like why they are reading this particular resume. You have to mention about yourself in 3 lines, 4 lines, maximum 4 lines. Don't create of 5, 6 lines of paragraphs like that. Okay, don't create. Next thing, education. Okay, for example, if any particular job requires a specific education, then compulsory you have to mention your qualification part also. Okay, and then skills. Okay, after like mentioning all these things, what are the skills are available for you? Okay, what are the skills you have already, okay, to apply for that particular job? So you have to mention that skills also. And whatever the knowledge you have, okay, what you have done with this particular skills, where you have done particular work. Okay, if you have not having any particular experience also, you have to mention your training part, whatever you have done, the training, whatever the internships you have done. So what you have done on that particular training, on internships, what you have done. So you have to mention on this particular work experience. Okay, and then you have to mention the projects also. Okay, like okay, so you said like you have completed some particular training period or internship, then what project you have done, what are the responsibility in your particular project. Okay, so that also you have to mention. Next, apart from that, if you done any particular, okay, there are some particular jobs are there. For that particular job, they are mandatory, you have to do some particular certifications also. Okay, like AWS jobs are there. Okay, there are Pega jobs are there. For that particular job, you have to compulsory, like CCNA networking jobs are there. So there you have to mention the certifications also. So if it is required, you have to mention the certifications also. Okay, and if you've done any particular achievement or you get some particular awards, you can mention that particular awards also. Okay, and you're also having some particular extracurricular activities like any NGO work, NSS or NCC something, also that also you can mention. Okay, Note, don't create more than 2 pages. Try to fix it in one page only because you are a fresher. Okay. So, or else if it is increasing, it must be to end with the second page. That's it. Okay. Next thing, in the contact information, what I need to mention here. So first thing, the contact information must be in the top of the particular page. Where you have to mention? Top of the page. And what you need to mention here, compulsory you have to mention the mobile number, email ID. These things must be mandatory. And apart from that, if you have any LinkedIn account, mention your LinkedIn account also. Okay. Next thing, resume summary means what actually this resume summary. So resume summary is always talk about yourself. Okay, you can see here it must be added after your contact details. So once you complete your contact details, next mention the your particular about your particular resume. Okay, resume summary or career objective like this. Okay, so what you have to mention in that, you have to mention about yourself, who you are. It should describe about your goals, skills, okay, and different knowledge set also. Let's take an example here. Okay, I have mentioned some particular career objectives for you. Okay, you can see here an example here. As a skilled full stack developer, I have honored my abilities through practical experience in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, complemented by a strong foundation in backend technologies. Like this, you can see I have mentioned here 3-4 examples. Okay, accordingly, according to your skill set, create a particular 3 lines, okay, 2 lines, or maximum 4 lines. It should not be exceeded to the 4 lines. Okay, make it 2 or 3 lines only, and mention some particular paragraph. You can see one more example for a data analytics professional. You can see as a skilled data analytics professional, I have refined my abilities through the practical experience in data manipulations, analysis, visualization like this. Profession in tools such as a Python, SQL, and data visualization libraries, or you can add some tools like Tableau, Power BI, Power BI like that. Okay, so these things you have to mention in your particular career resume. Just don't mention the copy paste the previous like how we have mentioned in 1 line, 2 lines. Okay, so compulsory as a particular resume. Okay, in your resume summary or particular career objective, like this, you have to mention some particular paragraph related to the 3 lines or 4 lines that should describe about yourself and your skill knowledge and why you are applying that particular job and how you can contribute to that particular company. That must be mentioned in a 3 or 4 lines, not exceed to the 4 lines, maximum 4 lines if it is required, or else fix it into the 3 lines. You can generate these type of paragraphs. You can generate by your own also if you are good at English, or you can use some particular website also. Okay, which is going to be convert from Telugu to English also, Hindi to English also. You can convert this paragraph. There are many websites out there. Okay, if you write your own also, it will convert your text into that any particular translate, any languages. Next thing, technical skills. Okay, so it should be always added after your particular work experience or the career objective. Okay, so first contact, next your resume summary or career objective, and next you have to mention either you can mention with the you can start with the work experience, or else you can mention the skill set also. Okay, both options you have. So what need to add here? So here you have to mention all the skills, whatever you have related to whatever you are applying that particular job. That skills you have to mention. Example, like for example, someone is applying for the full stack developer. So there are some categories are there, like there are some front end technologies are there are some databases are there are some frameworks are there are some programming languages are there. So you can add it the categories. For example, in programming language, I know Java and Python both. Okay, in databases, I know SQL and NoSQL databases. In web technologies, like this is called front end part. So you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript like that. So like this, you can mention framework. I know Django framework. I know Spring framework. I know .NET framework. Like this, you can mention like that. Okay, so you can categorize your particular technical skills and you can mention those particular skills. For example, for any data analytics students are there. Okay, so those are mentioning that particular. Just assume they are mentioning databases. So just you are mentioning, for example, you are mentioning Microsoft SQL database. You are mentioning. Okay, you are mentioning some particular Oracle database also you are learning. Okay, you can mention Oracle database also. Okay, and Tools, you can mention Power BI, you can mention Tableau. Like this you can increase, okay, according to the requirement. Next, education. Okay, so it must be added after your skills or career objective. You can mention according to the requirement. Okay, and what you have to mention from the schooling to the till whatever you have college like degree, post graduation, PhD, whatever you have done, you can mention all this. Okay, and if you are applying for any job, my particular point, if you are pursuing any particular courses, so then don't mention pursuing. If you are applying for internship, then you can mention as a pursuing. But if you are applying for any full-time job, so don't mention the any present pursuing courses. Why? Because they will ignore your particular CV. Because why they'll understand me? Because see, these particular candidate already studying something and might not be suitable for our company because here they have to focus full time. Okay. Marks or GPA, you have to mention only if it is more than 70%. Otherwise, just please ignore. Okay, for example, I have scored 50%, 55%. No need to mention those particular percentages. Just mention whatever you have done, from which university or which college, and when you have passed out. That is enough for you. Okay, if you wanted to add location, you can add the location also. Okay. Uh, but don't mention like 50%, 45%, 60% like that. If it is more than 70, then only mention the percentage or GPA criteria. Next thing, work experience. So where you have to mention, you can start after the career objective or else after the skills part. Okay, and what need to add here, you can add your all professional technical experience including the training programs and internship, or you have done any particular work also. Okay, and what you have to mention here, okay, you have to mention where you have done that particular work and for how many duration you have done. Like for example, from January 2023 to June 2023, or from June 2023 to August 2000, 2 months, 3 months, 1 month. How many months or how many years you have done on a particular address, you have to mention that particular point, and location also you have to mention. Okay, like this you can see the example here. Work experience, I have done something Python Django developer training in the ABCD technology from this particular time period. And if you wanted to add, you can add the location also. For example, location Bangalore, location Delhi, location Hyderabad. Like this, you can add also mention. If you have done any particular internship as a what position, so you can mention that internships also. If you are already doing some particular job, mention your job details also. And then what you have to mention, you have to mention roles and responsibilities. Means what you have done on that particular training period, what you have done on that particular internship period. Example, you can see there are some points I have written here. Design and implement database model using the Django ORM concept for efficient data storage, retrieval and management. This is one particular point. Means in the training period you have done something. Don't just mention I have completed HTML course. It is not going to be useful for you. You have to write in a proper manner. Okay, actually what we have done in that particular training. Are you getting my point? Yes, no. So whatever the course you are learning, it doesn't matter. See, I have mentioned related to this particular position. So you can get this particular. There are number of websites are there. There are n number of websites are there. If you search something like experience, it may be any particular position. You will get this particular website. Just use the Instagram, how we use the Facebook, okay, how we use the different social media platform. Okay, because see, we are addicted with the entertainment and comedies. We are searching those things only, right? And just we are wasting our time, right? Okay, and we are happy with that. Now what we have to do, we have to focus on your career goals, how we can make it successful, okay, how we can achieve our goals. So related to that, search something. Okay, utilize your time, spend your time for these particular activities and search something. For example, let's add Power BI, okay, something like roles and responses, okay. So you can see, just open any particular website, okay. I'm not focusing any specific website. Let me just, I wanted to check what are the roles and responsibilities are. Okay, so you can see here Power BI job description. What job description means? It means they are expecting something. Okay, if you are applying any particular job, they are expecting what they are expecting. You should able to develop the operational reports. They are expecting you can build automated reports and dashboard with help of Power BI or any other particular. For example, if you are learning Tableau, so you using Tableau you can able to create the dashboard. Okay, understanding the business requirement to set functional specification for report application. So these are the some examples are there. These are some examples are there. So research about this particular some particular points and check what points you already aware about it. Don't mention randomly. Don't just copy paste the things. Okay, if you are not aware about some particular thing and just copy pasting to highlight your resume, and when they ask you, so what will be the answer? You cannot able to answer, right? If you just smiling, by seeing your smile, they'll give you the offer letter. It will happen. It is not going to be happen, right? We have to give some particular answer related to the subject only. Then only they'll give you the offer letter, right? So whatever, there is a one more point is don't lie in your resume. Don't lie in your resume. I'm repeating once again. Whatever the knowledge you have, mention those knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, it doesn't require much time. If it is small thing, you can easily research and learn the things. There are n number of platforms are there where you can easily get the free projects also. So research about the topic, do some particular project on that, and mention those things in your just resume. Then only it will be helpful for you. Okay, if you don't know something and you are just mentioning all the things because this person is asking for this particular job, I'm going to mention all these things in my resume. Okay, so that particular person will understand, okay, this candidate having all this particular, now let them call. When they call you, when they ask you, okay, just assume theoretical interview, they are calling you and you're taking some particular mobile and you're answering all the things, and after when they call you for the technical interview and they'll give you some particular work, can you able to do that particular work? You cannot able to do that particular work. There are some situations happening. Okay, there are many students are there in the telephonic round. Okay, we are going to use some particular website or something like Google, or maybe they are going to give that particular card to some other person. Okay, and they are going to crack that particular round. But after when they enter into the field, they have to do some particular work. Let's give you the simple example. I'll give you the simple example. Okay, understand this situation. Why the skills are required. Just assume. Okay, just assume. Okay, let's say Yakesh. Okay, Yakesh, me and both are friends. Okay, so Yakesh said, okay, there is a driver job is there. Okay, so Elias, do you know driving? No, I said no, I don't know the driving. So Yakesh is saying to me, okay, just learn the driving in 15 days, okay, or 30 days. Okay, I'll refer you. Okay, you will get the good package. So I said, okay, yes, I'm going to learn the driving now. Okay, so what I have done, I have go to some particular driving school. Okay, I have paid the some particular amount and I have learned that particular driving. Okay, what I have done, I have learned that particular driving here. Once I learn the driving, so what I am doing here, how I am learning the driving, I'll tell you that. Okay, so I am going to that particular driving school. I am in the back seat. I am sitting there. Who's the instructor are there? That instructor is saying, okay, so this is the way to drive. Okay, this is the gear, this is the clutch. Okay, and when my turns is coming, like I have to drive, right? So I'm saying, wait just now. Tomorrow compulsory. Tomorrow first name. Okay, so next day he's asking the same thing. Now you have to drive. I'm saying, okay, after some point will come. Okay, the course is going to be completed. I'm going to pay that amount. I'm getting the certificate. I'm getting the driving license, because everything is possible, right? We can pay the amount. We are getting that particular license, all these things. Okay, now, okay, Yakesh is asking me, okay, have you completed the course? You have the driving license? Yes. Okay, so now he has referred me. Okay, I got the job. He referred me. I got the job as a driver. Now I'm going to drive. What will happen? Some passengers are there. they'll get the free ticket to heaven, right? So same thing is going to be happen. Okay, if someone, okay, some already some developers are there, okay, or they are going to refer me. Okay, so okay, I have some students, they have completed this particular courses. Okay, so now they have certificate also, because you have paid the fees. Now with, you will go to the management, I have paid the fees, give me the certificate. Okay, now you get the certificate also. Okay, and now you're going for the job, particular job, and now they're saying to you, do this particular work. Now you are simply sitting on that particular computer from morning to evening. And end of the day, they'll ask you, have you done this particular work? You just simply smile. So what will they happen? They are going to pay you, right? So that's why focus on your skill. For some student, it will take, maybe it will take 1 day, for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It takes, depend upon the student capability and how the student is going to be effort, right? For some student, they'll get the subject in 1 month. For some student, they'll get the 2 months. It depends upon their particular hard work and capability, right? So what I'm suggesting you, focus on your particular subject. Focus on the projects. Okay, focus on the topics. Learn first the fundamental things. What are the topics are required? Then implement those topics into the project. And then mention all the things what we have done. Got it? Okay. Coming to the next point. Projects. It is most important, whatever you have learned, mention those projects in your resume. You can see it must be added after the work experience. So what you have worked, where you have worked, and then you have to mention what you have done actually. And in your, okay, there are two things are there. If you wanted to categorize, if it is related, you can mention your academic projects, as well you can mention the training or internship projects. Okay, and on that particular project you have to mention what are the role in your project, like you are the leader of the project, what actually done in your particular project. For example, in the project, just assume, let's take an example of, there is a full stack project, is there, full stack web application software development project is there. So there are different criteria there. Front end part is there, back end part is there, database part is there. So what you have done, have you done all the three things, have you done only one thing, have you done two things, what you have done, and what is the role in your particular project. You have done your alone, with the team, if with the team, have you lead the team, what is actually your role. So compulsory we have to mention the roles of. Is it clear? Okay, and also mention what are the technologies you have used in that particular project. Okay, there are some spelling mistakes are there. Okay, typing mistake. So you have to mention, okay, what technology you have used to develop this particular project. For example, you have done some front end. Have you done use only HTML or HTML CSS or HTML CSS Bootstrap or HTML CSS Bootstrap with JavaScript? Have you used any JavaScript framework like Angular, React, okay, or any particular Vue.js? What you have done? What you have used? For example, I have reported this dashboard. I have created some particular dashboard, and I have created some graph. Okay, so what you have used? You have used Excel. Have you used any particular reporting tool? What you have used? You have to mention that particular technologies or tools also, like using this technology or using this particular subject or using this particular tool. I have developed this particular project, and this is my role. Okay, and also mention the times to complete this particular project, like you have done in 1 day, in 2 days workshop, or maybe it will take 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, how many days are required. Okay, and for that particular project, is any recognition are achieved, then mention those recognitions also. Okay, there are some workshops are there in particular colleges. If you complete that particular workshop, there are some hackathons will be there. So if you do that, there will be some certificate will be given some particular company. Okay, so these things are there. And there are some paid workshops also happening, okay, in multiple institutes, like IIT Hyderabad is always do some workshop, 1 day workshop, 2 days workshop. There will be some fee, 500,000 rupees, because we mostly spend, when you go to the hotel, you spend 500 rupees easily, right? So you can spend that particular, these are additional things. Okay, it is up to you. Okay, it is not like, okay, Sarah has told me, that's why I went to that. Okay, it is not like that. I'm just recommending you. Okay, there are some famous universities will be there, famous brand colleges will be there. They'll uh, conduct some workshop or some events. If you participate there, they'll like explain you how to do these particular projects, and for the whatever the events are going to be organized, they have to maintain and they have to pay, right, for lighting, electricity. For that purpose, they'll charge some 500 rupees, 1000 rupees. Like that, some things will be happen. So I like how you research in Instagram for comedies, entertainment, what actress is doing, okay, what this particular person is doing. You can research about these things also, okay. So and you'll get some particular, because see, this is for useful for you, okay. This is going to be useful for you for your career, okay. If you hang out with your friends, if you go to some particular pub, if you go for any particular okay party, okay, so then for example, you spend some, okay, you contribute 500 rupees, 1000 rupees. That is going to be end out that particular moment only. Okay, after you don't know, after 1 year, after 2 years, that friend is going to be connected with you or not. Right? If you have some position, then only going to be connected with you. After some 5 years, after 3 years, 2 years, if you don't have that particular position, no one is going to be connected with you. This is the reality of life. Okay. We think, okay, okay, this is my close friend, okay, but it is not going to work in the reality. Okay, so now next thing is the awards and certification. Okay, so if you have achieved any award or certificate, it may be related to the schools, or it may be related to any particular extracurricular activity like NSS work, NCC work, any sport events. Mention all these particular awards and certification. Maybe that particular uh, company having some events, also some sport events or any cultural events. So you can add this particular awards events, and you can mention the curricular activities also. Okay, and this must be in the last of your section, last your part. Okay, also if you wanted to mention languages, how many languages you know, you can mention in the last part. That is the optional thing. But whatever I have mentioned here, these are the mandatory things that compulsory you have to be mentioned. Okay, if you wanted to add your photo, you can add it. That is the optional things. Okay, your personal details, my name is this, my father name is, date of birth. As of now, no one is asking all these things. Okay, so these things are mandatory, you have to mention in your resume. Okay, so that's it